All right, this is episode 1 of Carry Your Cross. My name is Justin,
My name is Emery.
and we just kind of wanted to start this to encourage people to get closer with God, grow their faith,
Yep.
and hopefully turn someone that isn't Christian into a Christian.
Just one person.
Just one person.
Just
That's the
one
whole point
person.
of this, is just to turn one person and turn them into Christianity. So this episode is mostly just going to be about introductions about me and Emery. And we're going to be talking about our testimonies, who we were before God, kind of the path that we took to find God,
Yep.
and then kind of how our lives are now. So I don't know if you want to start it off, or
Do you want to start?
I can start. We can just start before Christ. So
Yeah.
I grew up not Christian at all. None of my parents really practiced it. They didn't go to church or anything, so I wouldn't call myself really an atheist, but I just didn't follow anything.
Right.
I used to make jokes about it, and not like terrible jokes, but just stupid jokes about it. But growing up, I never went to church. Had a lot of anxiety. Was a big overthinker. They're gonna get that burp in there. But yeah, I always grew up with a lot of anxiety. I just always felt like I was missing something with my life,
Yeah.
and I just could never put a finger on it. But the anxiety is really what got me to the point where I was thinking of committing suicide because it just got too much. But it was crazy. This one day I was at college, and I was having anxiety in the middle of the night because that's when it was always happening. Like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, I would just always have a lot of anxiety, and I was just planning on just like driving my car, hitting a tree at like full speed. But I sat up in my bunk bed because I was at the top, so like my feet were dangling, and I was just gonna jump down and just go. And then my mom texted me randomly. She just said like, "Are you okay?" Because usually I called her.
Right.
I didn't call her that night. And I was kind of silent for a couple days, and then she just randomly texted me at like 3 a.m. "Are you okay?" And I just broke down crying.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant at that moment because I still wasn't Christian.
Right.
But looking back at it now, that was definitely God.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Like looking back now, I'm like, wow. But before, I was lost.
Mm-hmm.
I was so lost. I was dead.
Yeah.
And just like that one, like they say, Lazarus, they rolled the stone away,
Yeah.
and I was just like, it was crazy. It was a wild time. I was drinking more than ever. I was smoking a lot of weed.
Mm-hmm.
I was addicted to pornography as well.
Yeah.
I was addicted to sex, and I was just all I cared about was chasing girls.
Right.
Having an image of, because I played college golf, so I cared a lot about my image.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hanging around the wrong people. I was doing stupid stuff. Like I was selling drugs at one point too, like carts.
Yeah.
Like imagine me selling carts. I was gonna get robbed. I never I never sold one, but I posted on my story like that I was selling carts, and
Right.
then I took it down shortly after because that's when I was kind of like, this is really stupid.
Right.
That was like probably freshman year of college or something. But yeah, all I cared about was an image. I was very anal about like my hair, what I wore, because I didn't want anyone to think poorly of me.
Right.
So I tried to keep this image of like this popular frat kind of dude, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And I was really depressed a lot because it was just like,
It wasn't fulfilling.
no, not at all. And I would get back home or like to my dorm room, and I would just be like, then I'll kind of be like my real self.
Right.
And then someone would walk through the door or something, and I'd be like, a frat guy again or something,
Yeah.
And it was just the worst. I hurt a lot of people. I hurt myself. And it was just, I had a big falling out with my old college. because I was just not a good person.
Right.
You know, I wasn't like a terrible person, but I just wasn't a good friend,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a good teammate. That's for sure. But now, you know, if I can go back in time, I'd change it. But at the same time, I wouldn't, because now I don't think I'd be where I am today.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my life beforehand. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
You got you got a different story.
Yeah, for sure. So start with me. I like growing up, so no one around me was religious at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I found God myself, and He found me.
Mm-hmm.
I always believed in a higher power, though.
Yeah.
I always believed in a higher power. I never really doubted. Like, it was always just in my mind. And it wasn't until, I believe it was sophomore year of high school, I just, randomly started praying.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know, without like looking into any religion, without reading the Bible or anything. I didn't have a Bible at the time.
Do you even know what you were like praying about at that time?
Yeah, no. So yeah, I didn't even know what I was praying to, what I was praying about. I was just trying to pray to a God.
Yeah.
And I wasn't quite sure yet, but obviously I found Jesus. But yeah, I was praying. Didn't know what I was praying to. I was in high school. I was like a sophomore. And then eventually, trying to think, because I never. So like after that, I wasn't like during that praying, because I would pray every morning, but I wasn't obedient at all. Because like I said, I hadn't found a God yet.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't obedient. I wasn't righteous at all. Yeah. So yeah, I struggled with the porn addiction as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I didn't. I don't know. I guess I was. I guess you could say I struggled with laziness and gluttony, because those are two things. I feel like those are two underrated things.
Yeah.
That don't get talked about enough for it to be a sin.
Yeah.
So I definitely, when I was in that high school era, I struggled with gluttony and laziness, playing video games all day.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I also gained a lot of weight during quarantine, because I had a crazy diet. Like I had a crazy bad diet.
Yeah.
Just sitting around playing video games. That's all I wanted to do. So yeah. Trying to think when it all took off. I believe when I was 19. I was 19 years old. I'm 21 now, y'all. 21 now. But I was 19. I was 19 years old when I started going to church. And I started watching online.
You said you're 21?
21.
21.
Yeah. This guy calls me uncle all the time.
Yeah.
But
you'll see soon why.
Yeah, I was 19 when I started going to church. And when I say going to church, I mean I was watching online on YouTube.
Like a live or
yeah,
like previous?
Live at a local church that's in my neighborhood. And again, like I guess I was just curious,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Not really know what I was looking for, but yeah, I was watching online, and then it was funny, I started playing basketball at Christ Community. Christ Community is a church that I attend.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time I wasn't.
You started going there first to play basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, I started playing basketball at first before going to the service. I got invited out. Tyler's actually the one.
Really?
Yeah, Tyler's the one who invited me.
Is that when you first went with like Austin and them?
Yeah.
Oh, so I was going there before you did then.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I started playing basketball there, and then after a few sessions, like a few pickup games there, I met this guy named Josh, and he invited me out one time. I was telling him like, yeah, I go to church, I do the online services, and he's like, why don't you ever go in person? And I stopped for a second, and I was like, I don't know why. I guess I don't know what it was. Maybe I just needed an invitation. Maybe I needed someone to ask me why I haven't, So so he asked me, and then he asked me to come join church with him at the 9 a.m. on Sundays. So after that, that was like about 2 years ago. I started going ever since, and just growing my relationship with God, growing with Christ, reading the Word. And yeah, man, it's been such a journey. Obviously, it's ups and downs. A lot of people think following God, it's all gonna be ups. Absolutely not.
I feel like it's more downs than ups.
It's just it's testament though. It's a testament. There would be no value if it was all ups.
Exactly.
But yeah, and currently that's where I'm at right now. So
nice.
Yeah.
Do you kind of remember the day or like the moment that you surrendered your life to Jesus? Because there's a difference between just going to church and then like fully surrendering your life to Jesus.
Right.
Do you kind of remember when that moment was, or?
I've gotten asked this question before. I don't know exactly. No, I don't. If I had to guess, it'd be probably sometime last year. It definitely wasn't the first year when I started going to church, but I definitely probably sometime last year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's kind of relatively like the same timeline for me. I remember like the exact moment of when I was going to Christ Community too. That's where I started with Kayleen, my girlfriend, and because she grew up Christian.
Okay.
She was going to like church camps and all that stuff and small like kid groups and all that.
Right.
And I asked her one day, I was just like, would you like to go to church with me? But she was going to like a small church, like 15, 20 people. Right. And I said, I'm not going there for the first time. Like I kind of want to be like in the crowd, kind of like no one knows I'm there.
Exactly.
No one's like focused on me.
Right.
Because in my head, I was thinking of it was more like the Catholic Church, where everyone like you stand, you sit, you kneel to pray. I was like, I don't know how to do any of that. Everyone's gonna think I'm weird. They're gonna know that I'm new.
Right.
So I was like, let's go to Christ Community because it's huge. So we went there. I swear, dude, the first time I walked in there, I like almost started crying because I just felt like this weird wave of emotions hit me. I was just like, no, I'm just being weird.
Yeah, and for you guys, if anyone's watching this and doesn't know what Christ Community is, obviously it's a church, but it's a really big church. They're very welcoming. It's warm.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a huge church. But
massive. But yeah, and I like almost started crying. And I was going for about, I don't know, month or two.
Yeah.
And I was just checking it out. I wasn't really fully indulged in it yet. Right. I was just kind of checking it out. Wasn't reading my Bible. Wasn't doing anything outside of it. I was just kind of going. And then I remember the sermon was talking about chains, like a metaphor of like, you have chains, and like your chains like hold something like the enemy has like a grip on you with like chains or something.
Yeah.
And like it was like whether it's anxiety, addiction, this and that, all you got to do is say Jesus' name, and like the chains will break because he's like the breaker of chains. And I was like, okay. And we got home. It was later that day. I dropped Kayleen off. I was by myself. And I was in the shower listening to Brandon Lake. I was listening to Gratitude.
Yeah.
And I just recently started listening to Christian music too, trying to get into that. Because I'm a big music guy. Music speaks to me more than like anything else.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to try out Christian music. And I found this song. Kayleen showed it to me, actually. Gratitude. And I was just in the shower, and I was just like, at that time, I was having a lot of anxiety attacks every night, a lot of panic attacks. And then I started praying. I just started saying Jesus' name about like, breaking the chains. Only you can cast out these demons, not me.
Wow.
And I was saying stuff like, they're going to flee if I say your name.
Yeah.
So I kept saying his name. And then I just started crying. But it wasn't like sad crying. It was like happy crying.
Yeah.
And I was in a really hot shower, but I got really cold, like all these chills.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was like the Holy Spirit hugging me.
Right.
And it was just, I could not stop crying. But it was like happy cry. Like I was like smiling and stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's when I surrendered my life to Jesus. Probably like a year later, I got baptized. which was an insane moment. And then that's kind of how I got kick-started into it. Because I always believed in a bigger power too.
Right.
I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I would look up at the stars. I'd be like, there's no way this just came from nothing.
That's for real.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way Big Bang created this.
Yeah, no.
But I always thought like that. I just kind of always thought, you know, I had a bunch of different scenarios, like a simulation. I'm sleeping right now, and this is all just a dream.
Oh yeah. I heard those thoughts too.
Like just stuff like that. I never really believed in any of the other religions either, like Muslim or anything like that. Right. I never really even looked into that stuff. But Christianity, though, it always kind of had a bigger, like, I wouldn't say hatred for it, but I always kind of made fun of that one the most because I knew that's what most people were Christian.
Yeah.
So, you know, like they say, like, Christians are the most usually hated on, made fun of. And I was in that crowd too, but now it's totally different.
Yeah.
And I'm still the only one in my family that's a Christian.
So.
Like my parents, you know, I feel like they're trying to find their way. My brother's open-minded to it, but I just, I don't know. But like what you said, it's a lot of downs. People think that when you turn your life to Jesus, that all of a sudden you're this happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah.
That you're just smiling all the time.
Like Vince.
Yeah. Just like
shout out Vince if you're watching.
Yeah. Seriously, dude, you're a dog. You're the happiest soul I've ever met.
For real.
But like people think that that's all it is now. I don't like people like, well, when you turn Christian, you don't sin anymore. Yeah. It's like I feel like when I turn Christian, I sin more. Like not intentionally, but like I still deal with addiction to nicotine and smoking, and I still try to go around that, you know. But I feel like a lot of people have a misconception of Christians, that we think that we're better than everybody, and that we think we're perfect, when in reality, you know, we're all equal. Yeah, every sin is equal. Yeah, every sin. And even someone that's not Christian, I'm the exact same as them. Yeah, because we both sin. Yeah. So we're no better than better than they are. All because I'm Christian doesn't mean that someone that's not Christian is worse than me. Right. I mean, if anything, I'm probably worse than them because I know about Jesus, and yet I still sin more. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about Christianity, that we just think that we live this pure life. Right. We don't do anything wrong. Yeah. We think we're better than everybody when that's just simply not the case. And that's kind of the notion I had before I turned to Christianity.
And most times, it's the lukewarm Christians that will make a bad image on, you know, Christians who are obedient. Yeah. Because, I mean, God even said, if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out. Like, it's worse than not being Christian at all. Yeah. So, it kind of ruins that reputation's image of being a Christian. Like by being lukewarm, those lukewarm Christians.
And a good depiction that I heard of that is a guy sitting on a fence, and on one side it's the devil, and on one side it's Jesus. Yeah. I forgot who said that. I think it was Bryce Crawford that I heard it from or something online. But he's like, the guy's sitting on the fence, and he's having like best of both worlds. And then he said all of a sudden, like, Jesus, it didn't go away, but the devil was walking towards him more. Yeah. He was like, no, I don't want you. He's like, no. Yeah. But then it's like, well, you were trying to have best of both worlds. And then now it's like, you can't have that. Yeah. You can't have best of both. You can't have your, you know, feet in two different pools. Right. You got to go one way. Yeah. And it's the way of Jesus, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know about you, but I still struggle with sin to this day.
Oh, for sure. Everyone does.
Like, you know, like I said, I still have addiction to smoking. Yeah. And, you know, I still drink every now and then. I don't.
Which is fine.
I don't get drunk anymore. Right. But even then, I don't even want to have drinks. But it's just like I get caught up in these worldly views. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I put myself, like my flesh, into the world all the time, every single day, whether it's even just gossiping,
Yeah.
you know, drama,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I still fall short of it, but that's why Jesus died on the cross for us.
Exactly. Yeah, to wash those sins away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but you know, going forward, I try to be the best Christian that I can be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't try to focus on my sin too much because that can draw you away from God.
Right.
I just try and focus on getting closer to Him and Jesus, and eventually the sin will go away.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. That's one thing that I had to realize quite recently too, is I was focusing too much on my sin, and what I mean by that is I was trying to be too much of a perfect man.
Yeah.
See, God made us limited for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
He knew we had evil in literally all of us.
Yeah.
And we were gonna give in to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I struggled with that recently, like trying to be the perfect man, and even if I slipped up, even if I looked at a woman lustfully, just like quick, like I would beat myself down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end goal though for the enemy. The enemy wants you to be in disparity.
Yeah.
It's not just the devil doesn't want you to just sin. He wants you to fall in that disparity after, because that's what draws you away from God, is the disparity. Not just sinning once, but that disparity is what draws you away.
Absolutely.
And that's the enemy's goal.
Mm-hmm. And the enemy gets stronger the closer you get to God.
Yeah.
I mean, he really does.
Yeah.
And it's just hard sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been trying to work on my swearing.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's a big one.
Because I don't like speaking poorly, but I fail at that miserably sometimes, and it's just like I don't beat myself up as much as I first did when I became a Christian. Because I'm like, well, I know Jesus now. I can't do that. You know?
Yeah.
You're a terrible person. But that was just the enemy talking.
Right.
Jesus calls us by our names, not our sins.
Mm-hmm.
That's the enemy calls us by our sins.
Yep.
You know, you're like in your head, you're like, oh, you swear too much. You do this too much. You know?
Yeah.
That's not Jesus.
Right. Absolutely.
So, but that's kind of the main point of this podcast, is to just be completely open with you guys, fully transparent, and walk through this journey with you guys as well, because we're not better than you guys. We're going through this with you.
Right.
So, you know, on more episodes, we're going to be talking about, like, you know, we'll be reading from the Bible more.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about our views on Christianity. Maybe some things that, like, atheists or non-believers say about Christianity.
Yeah.
That, you know, our own views on it and why we feel those views are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and just, you know, you guys get to know us more. But that's our goal, is just to change one person's life.
Just one.
I don't want the money. I don't want the fame. I just want to change one person's life.
Yeah.
Just to get a random text on Instagram or something saying, I surrendered my life to Jesus because of you guys.
Seriously.
That would be,
man,
you know, that I feel like that's my life goal, is just to turn as many people as I can to Christianity.
Right. Yeah. The goal, I always say, the goal is always significance and impact.
Mm-hmm.
Positively, though.
Yeah.
Because there could be negative impact. But yeah, significance and impact, for sure, through this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Man. Yeah. Like Justin said, being fully transparent with you guys. As you guys get to know us more, you'll be able to tell. We don't like to sugarcoat anything.
No, not at all.
We want to keep it real, authentic as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So we'll see you guys for the next episode.
Yeah. God bless.